Hey folks, it's Ardwulf. Welcome. We're going to do an unboxing video today. And the game of the day is Brazen Chariots. This is game 3 in the Battalion Combat series. This is from the Gamers and Multi-Man Publishing. Series designer is Dean Essig. And the game designer for this is Jim Daniels. This is on Battles for Tobruk. I have glanced at the contents, somebody else's copy, so I have some idea of what's in it. This is a 2-inch box. This is what I would call a standard-sized box for wargaming from basically every major publisher but MMP at this point. MMP seems to diverge from it size-wise more often than other publishers for whatever reason. So let's take a look at Mr. Brazen Chariots. I do like the style of cover that they have established for the BCS series. If you would like to see more commentary on the series from me, there's a lot of content on this on YouTube, so check that out. But I've done a video unboxing the last Blitzkrieg, which is the first game in the series. So I will talk about that stuff there. And today here we'll just talk about the components. Okay, so we have a die. There's probably another one in there. Here's the traditional Multi-Man Publishing little sheet that tells you what's in the box. We have here a box and a lid, 3 22 by 34 inch map sheets, 4 counter sheets, 2 unit sheets, and 2 identical BCS marker sheets, 1 BCS V1.2 rulebook, 1 Brazen Chariots specific rulebook, 1 BCS V1.2 crib notes booklet, 2 BCS V1.2 charts and tables booklets, and 2 6-sided dice. Okay, so... and here's Mr. Errata sheet. Okay, so, error points and replacement points were inadvertently left out. Okay, so these are here. You can, if you don't know, go to Gamers Archive and download all this stuff anyway. Presumably that includes the errata. Here's another die. Let's move this over here. So here's the Brazen Chariots game-specific rules. So what we have here is a 36-page book on absolutely traditional gamers type presentation. Relatively small print, 3 columns, quite heavy matte black and white paper. I incidentally have no problem with this format at all. If it's a colored book, great. For these games, I'm fine with this. I'm good with it. All right, so next we have a map. I think there's 2 maps in this game. There might be 3. And of course, there's a lot of open desert in here. But right around here, we have some part of North Africa, with which I am not familiar, but it's Egypt. I actually know very little about the North Africa campaign, to be completely honest. This is the only game I have ever bought on the subject that I can recall off the top of my head. That's probably not true. It's probably not true. All right, VCS 1.2, in fact, it's definitely not true, but I've not played very much North Africa stuff at all. Okay, BCS system markers. So we got them here. Here's another counter sheet of the units. Now, one thing, and I think this is new to Brazen Chariots, as opposed to being in Baptism of Fire, which is the second game in the series, which is about Kasserine Pass. There's colored stripes to identify the formations. I really feel like that should have been in the first game, and in particular, since the last Blitzkrieg is still the biggest game in the series, it's the one that needs that the most. And I feel so strongly about that I would be tempted to mark up my counters playing that game, because it's just much easier to tell. So we got what look like Italians, we got what look like African Corps. These are probably British. Commonwealth of some kind. We have additional content here. Here is a second map. The map here, this feels heavy. It's a paper map. It's on what I would call kind of a satin finish. A very, very toward the matte end satin finish, though. There's not much gloss to it at all. And it's on quite a heavy stock, but it is not one of those heavy but brittle stocks. So there are, we didn't say this, there are in fact 3 maps in here. So we got that. We have another counter sheet, which is another BCS generic system markers counter sheet. And we have a 4th counter sheet, which is more units and specific stuff to this game. I don't know what... looks like we have New Zealanders, South Africans, Indians, Australians, and these might be Poles. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll find out. Like I said, I don't know much about this campaign. How I like to learn about these subjects, however, and how I get interested in them in the first place in many cases, is by playing and studying games on the subjects. So we have charts and tables. Here's another set of charts and tables. And we have a series rules crib notes. This is, again, a 4-page little leaflet that is kind of a rules summary and high points type thing. There's some very interesting, again, I don't want to go too deeply into the rules here, and I don't in the other video either. There's some very interesting and unconventional things going on with this game system. This booklet is not the standard gamer's stock. This is the Battalion Combat Series rules. Okay, that's new. This is full color. It's on like a satin finished paper. Still pretty thick, 48 pages. That's totally new. We're knocking it out of the ballpark here, guys. Look at this. We've got some play aids back here, examples of different types of AV. I don't know what that means. We've got extended designer's notes, as is virtually all. Yeah, crap. Look at this. There's like 10 pages of designer's notes in here, which I always think is wonderful, by the way. Well, maybe not 10 pages, but there's a lot. BCS primer is in here. Color rulebook, very interesting indeed. I did not expect to see that. MMP has done other color rulebooks, but not in this series, and pretty sure not in OCS. Those are the ones that I'm most familiar with. So Brazen Chariots has introduced color rulebook, color series rules anyway. So 4 counter sheets, 3 maps, pretty big game. I mean, the counter density is not super duper high, having seen this on a table, but this is not a small game. There's quite a bit here. I can get, I'm pretty sure, 2 counter trays in this box, and I'd probably want the 2 counter trays to organize it all. Then again, this is the kind of game, because you're organizing things by formation, where I'd feel reasonably comfortable putting it in baggies. If you'd like to see a video on that, please let me know. If you've enjoyed watching, please leave me a thumbs up. If you have any other questions, please leave a comment below. And I appreciate you watching. Please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time.